So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast. It's Dan Latto speaking, and welcome to this podcast. So in this podcast, we're going to talk to you today about how to deal with an overwhelming to-do list. So look, some of this falls into time management, and in fact, it's actually, it's not some of it, it is 100% a time management issue. And what's really interesting for me is this understanding and appreciation that actually what most people are struggling with, like weight loss or anxiety or depression, is actually nothing more than a time management issue. So let's look at that and let's just break it down, because I know some people are like screaming, how dare you say my depression is time management? I didn't say all of it is, I said some of it is. So hear me out, because I think you'll appreciate this one, and it will give you a different insight into how some things work. So I was just speaking with somebody, and they were talking about being over summer just having some mental health difficulties, and the way that they were feeling, and trying to keep it all on track when we've got all this work to do. And I'm listening, and I'm offering advice and that kind of thing as well, which they took on board, and that's all fine. But it's this idea that, you know, if you're feeling depressed right now, then what is it specifically that's making you feel depressed? If you're feeling anxious right now, and it can be this idea of overwhelm. Well, I've got so much to do, and every time I do it, I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere. That's a time management issue. That, like, the depression is a consequence of your actions. That's not necessarily depression from a chemical imbalance, which it might be, but the actions have caused the imbalance. It's not the imbalance has caused the actions, and then that turns into depression, of what it can do, because you feel depressed so you don't get any work done, and then the depression makes you feel even worse, and then you feel even more depressed. So that's like a vicious circle. But, you know, and I'm sure you've seen this if you've ever done any kind of personal development. Thoughts lead to actions, lead to results, leads to thoughts. So if you have crappy thoughts right now, you do crappy actions, you get crappy results, which lead to crappy thoughts, which lead to even worse actions, lead to even worse results, which leads to even worse thoughts. Or you have positive thoughts, you have positive action, you get some return and some results on that, which makes you feel better. And then it's like, oh, look, I am doing it right. I can see some results starting to come through. And then your thoughts are better. And so basically, it's like a seesaw. And if the seesaw dips down and your mindset goes negative, it's like a spiral staircase all the way down to the bottom. And then likewise, when it tips the other way, it's like a spiral staircase leading you up and feeling better. And these little differences can tip the seesaw in one direction or the other. And a lack of control is one of the things that can tip the seesaw down into depression, and then you're into this ever-decreasing level of depression. Whereas conversely, if you have some good things happen, that builds your confidence. I've just got back from a basketball court and playing basketball, outdoor court, one-on-one, and I'm hitting shots all over the place. He's up on me, trying to defend me, knows I'm going to shoot a three-point shot, because I love shooting three-point shots. And I'm, stepping back, stepping to the side, up faking, going to the other side, and I'm hitting every goddamn shot. I mean, literally, we hit like 5 or 6 shots in a row, and it's just, and that's a game. We play it to like 10 points, 5 shots in a row. That's a game. We're done. Each shot counts for 2 points behind the 3-point line. I know, weird. But it's like every time I'm hitting a shot, my confidence is even more powerful. And we do what's called a heat check, where you shoot some really crazy shots just to see how hot you are, And, I step back and he's right on me. I have to put some extra arc on the shot so it goes up. And the saying is, it comes down. It went up so high it came down with snow on it, And it swished it over the outdoor court here in Spain has these metal chain nets, so it goes more chink than swish, but same thing. Beautiful sound, the best sound in the world. So my confidence is getting better and better and better, and his confidence is going lower and lower and lower because he's not hitting his shots, and then he's starting to question the shots, he's starting to question why he's shooting those shots, he's starting to question his ability, he's starting to question existence itself. Whereas I'm just, doing fall away shots. I did a shot, which is a running one-hand shot, fall away on a 3-point line off one leg. Like like a layup, but off one leg facing the basket, swished it. And I'm like, I've been watching James Harden practice them this summer, and I was like, I'm going to try some of them. And I'm hitting them, right? So my confidence is going sky high. But it's exactly the same thing with everybody else has got in life. You've got this massive pile of stuff to do, and it's overwhelming you. And so this really comes down to time management, and it comes down to goal setting, because you've got all this stuff to do, and it's not in alignment with your goals necessarily. Like we're going to discuss this later today in the mastermind group, but we've got weekly goals, we've got monthly goals, we've got annual goals. And every Friday in the mastermind group at 12, we go through our wins, we go through our goals, and then we start planning what we'd like to happen next week. It's really awesome, by the way. And if you're not in that group, you should come and join it. It's £97 a month. We go live 3 times a week. You should come and join that group. It's very powerful. And also it gets included on some of the other products that we do as well, by the way, I should add. But the to-do list, if all you're doing is a to-do list, and that is literally all you're doing, because this is the other conversation I've had today, is about having balance. You know, Star Wars and the Force has to be in balance, yin and yang. And everything that we do also has to be balanced. You can't just work 18 hours a day and expect everything else other than work to be swimming, because it's not going to happen. Your health's going to go, your mental health's going to go, you're going to cause some anxiety. And so, like me going to a basketball court today is very powerful for me to be the best version of me that I can be. I need that in my life. And actually, we covered a list of 4 or 5 different things that every person should do every single day. Work out is one of them. Drink 3 litres of water is another. Mine that I added, which is controversial, is not eat breakfast and not eat lunch and just have 1 meal a day. But you've got to understand how that works from a fasting point of view. But, you know, cut back on the food. The food that you eat makes you want to eat more, basically. That's my experience with food. And I've never had problems with food, but suddenly I turn 47 and I eat food and I want more food. Let's stop talking about food because I'm fasting. But this to-do list that you have, if it's just work and it's not in alignment with goals and it's not in alignment with you feeling good about yourself, so it should be, you know, if I get 75% of my to-do list, great, I'm going to go to the gym. Or I'm going to go play basketball, or I'm going to go down to the beach hut and enjoy the beach hut. You should be working out what are the rewards for you achieving the things that you're going to achieve, but it shouldn't just be based on that. Like the gym's actually wrong. You shouldn't put a reward based on the gym. You should be at the gym anyway. In fact, if you go to the gym 5 times this week, that should be the thing that allows you to go to the beach hut or to pig out one evening or whatever that happens to be. And I'm not going to cover time management in this podcast. That's, if you want to know the Friday night review system, you need to come to the mastermind group. We give you a download. It's not a download. You can look at the video and we talk you through how to do the Friday night review, which is very powerful. And then you can get to share your results in the group as well, which is even more powerful, by the way. But, when we talk about overwhelm, it is a time management issue. And then you start to feel anxious and depressed and all these other kind of, words that we try and use to work out how we feel. Sometimes it is a chemical imbalance and it's nothing you've done and it's just one of those things and you need medical help, okay? You need the pills that will just align it. But before you hit those pills, I would be asking a couple of things. Have you ran this week 2 or 3 times? Have you lifted weights this week 2 or 3 times? Have you sang out loud in the house 2 or 3 times? Have you danced around the house naked, covered in jam and feathers? You don't have to do that one, by the way. What are the things that you're doing? Is it just work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week? Is there any family time? Is it all family time? So you just feel like all you're doing is work and family and there's no time for you. What have you done for you this week? Have you been whitewater rafting? Have you been canoeing? Have you learned Spanish? I've got to learn Spanish this month. What are the things that you're going to be doing? That you've got in place? Because if none of these things are in place, no wonder you're feeling overwhelmed. Now, I get that people go, well, I can't do all this stuff because I haven't got time because I'm going to feel overwhelmed. And I totally get that as well. But it's like this yin and yang. If you don't do this, it's not going to happen for you. And so you have to start putting all of this in place, because if not, you're just going to make yourself ill. And then you're going to make yourself feel even worse and even more anxious and overwhelmed. So you've got to start putting this stuff in place. So what are you going to do next? I would start looking at your time management.
and I would put in place every single day weights, every single day running. It can be one or the other, or it can be both. But it's like, half an hour. Let's just look at what half an hour is. Half an hour of running every single day. So we have 24 hours in a day. 0.5, which is a half, divided by 24, which is 0.2 times 100, will give you the percentage. It's 2% of your day. If you can't allocate 2% of your day to feeling good about yourself, you've got a bigger problem. Part of me is just wondering, is it actually 2%? Have I done that maths right? I don't think it's not 0.3 because it's a half of an hour. It's 24. Yeah, I think the maths is correct. 2% of your day is what it's going to take you to feel amazing. That's crazy. Well, not me. I'm too busy. I'm far, far too busy. And most people are far, far too busy doing the wrong stuff anyway, working on all the stuff that actually not going to, get them the results. But why not implement this? Half an hour a day. And if you do half an hour running, or half an hour and half an hour weights, or half an hour running and half an hour meditation, that's like 4% of your day. I think you you deserve 4% of your day for you. And then maybe it's let's say you're working hard from 5 till 6. It's an hour solely for the kids. You put your phone away. This is a bit that I'm struggling with sometimes, because we talked about this with Barbie. Playing Barbie for a whole hour is, Paw Patrol is, I find, very difficult. But it's not about me. It's about what does the kid need. And the kid needs father's love and attention and all the rest of it. And so for an hour, for 4% of my entire day, my child can have that. And my other 2 kids in the UK can have that whenever they come out as well. They can totally have that. And as a percentage of my year, 2% a year, it's crazy. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm starting now to even feel guilty that it's only 2%. It should be more. And obviously it is more when we do weekends. We had someone today, can we speak on a weekend? No, we're just blocking that off and just not doing it. It's family time, pure and simple. So it's easy enough to get overwhelmed. I understand that, but the tips and tricks and tools that you can use to get yourself out of that, one of those is come and join us on the mastermind and download the time management program that we've got. You're going to love it. It's beyond simple. It's really easy. You can quantify everything that you've got. It ties into your goals, and that will make a big difference. But you've got to start making notes and planning. Planning is the key to everything here. Planning your fitness, planning your mental health, planning your finances, planning your family time, planning your date night, planning personal time for just you and being selfish with it. It all comes down to planning. And so if you're feeling overwhelmed with your to-do list, then this is definitely something that you can implement immediately. Okay, podcast 299 is done. We're out to podcast 300 next. Can you believe we've done 300 podcasts? Absolutely amazing. I'm going to catch up with you. We'll talk about podcast 300 on podcast 300, which is the very next podcast. And I'll catch up with you there. My name's Dan Latto. Take care.
Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.